Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the WWE Extreme Rules post-show. Bray Wyatt returns to the WWE. Ronda Rousey is your new SmackDown champion. What was your match of the night? How do you score this pay-per-view on 10? Let's get right into it. It's wrestling time.
Start.
What's up?
Gotta keep dancing.
We're here. We're live. We just watched Extreme Rules, and somehow we're still awake. Although
Wasn't
it was
easy.
touch and go there for a couple of times during this pay-per-view. Yeah.
Rough stuff.
Let me run down some of the results for you in case you didn't see it. I'm seeing my man Lauren in the chat who did not see the show. Ryan Katz in the chat says Ronda Rousey looked everything like the badass she is. With the win tonight, big win for Ronda Rousey, beats Liv Morgan, the only title change we saw tonight. One of the bigger stories coming out of the pay-per-view tonight, Ronda Rousey becoming SmackDown Women's Champion once again. Shout out Patrick for renewing his membership. Don't forget to join over at join.ringsidereport.net. Support the Ringside Report Network. Ronda beats Liv Morgan tonight. Chokes her out with move. I don't know.
Leg?
It might have been like a scissor choke type of thing or a mounted triangle. Not scissor me daddy ass. Not scissor me papa butt. It was something else. Like putting the one leg here, and choking right there.
Mm-hmm.
It was maybe a mounted triangle. It wasn't clear what Ronda was trying to apply there on Liv Morgan. It was an armbar, and then it was a choke, and Liv was unconscious, but she was smiling as she went to sleep, I guess, and smiled as Ronda walked away with her title. It was very strange. We'll get to that. We'll break it all down here. The Brawling Brutes open up the night with a win over Imperium. Karrion Kross beats Drew McIntyre in the strap match after Scarlett sprays Drew in the face with some pepper spray. Bianca Belair beats Bayley in the ladder match to retain the Raw Women's Championship. Finn Balor beats Edge in an I Quit match. That was the longest match on the card, just under 30 minutes. And Matt Riddle beats Seth Rollins by submission with a triangle choke. That was clearly a triangle choke in the main event that happened. And then when that was all over, the lights went out, and there was all these video effects going on, and we saw stuff, the audience was putting their lights on, and there was singing. He's got the whole world in his hands going on in the arena, so you knew what was coming. Bray Wyatt making his return, all this White Rabbit stuff leading to tonight with Bray Wyatt showing up, some Firefly Funhouse stuff, and Bray Wyatt showing up in a mask, takes the mask off to reveal that he's got a new nose ring piercing, and he's back in the WWE. To me, if you're a fighter or a simulated fighter, you wouldn't go into a match with something that people could grab a hold of and rip out of your face. But that's what Bray Wyatt has now, part of his new look. When all these White Rabbit vignette, promo things, hype videos, whatever you want to call them, when those things started, everybody said, what is this, Bray Wyatt? Is Bray Wyatt coming back? And we all said, it's probably Bray Wyatt, and if it is, But it'd be cool if it wasn't Bray Wyatt. But it seems like Bray Wyatt. And lo and behold, tonight it is Bray Wyatt, who is back in the WWE.
To the surprise of no one.
Yeah. Let's start there.
Start with Bray.
Alex Tarras giving the show 1.5 out of 10.
I can sympathize.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty low rating for the show, but I don't think Extreme Rules was very good. To be quite honest, I don't think it was a good show. I would like to rate this higher. I would have liked to have enjoyed this show a little bit more than I did. But, jeez, I'm struggling to find a match of the night. I think it was the opener. A lot of these matches were fine, but problematic in big ways and with the finishes and, you know, a lot of this stuff just kind of didn't sit right with me. Wasn't great. People liked Bianca Bayley, but it was clunky. It had its moments. Like, it was up and down, you know. At some points, it was a really good match, and at other points, it was really not a good match, you know. And when you have these moments where Bayley's struggling with the ladder and Bianca can't quite, she's trying to do the double KOD, and she can't quite grab Io Shirai, and there's just, like, a lot of struggle time on the top rope. Like, are we going to get there or are we not? And then she finally just kind of, Io just puts herself back on Dakota.
Yeah.
And they just kind of both fall down. It's not a double KOD. It's like a reverse attitude adjustment on two people. And Bianca really did nothing there. It was, you know.
Had its hits, but its misses were pretty big.
Well, that's it. That's the problem. There were some hits, but there were also some pretty big misses with that match. It was all, you know, it was not the worst match I've ever seen. It was not the worst match on this card, but it wasn't my favorite match on the card. 1.5 out of 10. Oh, he's saying, yeah, out of 10, Alex Tarras is giving this show. If you saw the show, what are you giving this thing out of 10? Let me know in the chat. What do you think?
I mean, there were some moments, like, at the beginning of the pay-per-view, I was having some good feelings about it. Like, oh, you know, the Brawling Brutes, probably my favorite match of the night, versus
Imperium.
Imperium, yeah. You know, all solid wrestlers. They brought it. That actually had a feeling of, like, a hardcore match, you know, but they were hitting their spots really well. Sheamus, you know, getting some love from the crowd for once, which is always nice to see. He seems to be on a really good run right now. So that match has a lot of goodwill. And then the next couple of matches, you know, are like fine but not spectacular. But then I think starting with the Bayley-Bianca match being a bit underwhelming, and then the last two matches being absolute snooze fests, I think I'm going to give this card a 4.
Wow.
But at the same time, looking at, like, the long-term booking coming out of this card, it, like, I might have to eventually, like, agree with Alex Tarras. Like, you know, like, Judgment Day going for a big run. Bray Wyatt's back. He's unstoppable. Karrion Kross beats Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
You know, all these guys set to be in prime positions going into Rumble Mania season. So, like, the ripple effects from this pay-per-view might be more destructive than my, like, initial reaction. So, like, right now, my initial reaction is a 4, but if it's like Bray and Roman at Mania, then this becomes like a retroactive like 1.
Well, yeah. You're saying that you think this is unleashing a series of events that will lead to some stories and some certain guys being made prominent in the WWE that will lead to some pretty poor television, which, yeah. I don't disagree with that, really. That's a solid point. So 4 out of 10. I'm seeing Ryan Katz giving it a 6. Harold Schneider, who's been a member for 17 months. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate your support. Harold gives it a 5 out of 10. So we're in that 4, 5, 6 range. Alex giving it a 1.5. But he gives the Dave brothers an 11 out of 10. I like that we are the Simon brothers. Our last name is Simon. It clearly says it on the screen. But because I'm Dave, we're the Dave brothers now.
I like that.
I think that we're...
It's pretty good.
Dave and Ben, the Dave brothers.
It's like the Mario brothers, you know?
Yes, I am like the Mario to
In
your
the original,
Luigi.
the original Mario Brothers movie, like you were talking about the other day with John, the Bob Hoskins John Leguizamo classic, you find out Mario and Luigi's last names are Mario.
Yes. I've always known that Mario's last name is Mario.
And Luigi Mario.
Yes,
So,
Luigi Mario.
I'm Ben Dave.
Yeah, you are.
And you're Dave Dave.
I'm Dave Dave. Just like Super Mario. Thank you, Alex. So, yeah, you're giving it I'm give it a 5.
All right.
Because I think everybody worked hard. You know, I don't know. I just feel bad giving it a really low grade, but I just didn't think the pay-per-view was very good. I'm happy Ronda beat Liv Morgan because I think that the Liv Morgan experiment had run its course. I thought that the Brawling Brutes Imperium match was very good. I thought the Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre was the low point of this pay-per-view. I thought Finn Balor and Edge dragged for a good chunk of it, but towards the end when Beth Phoenix got involved and like as soon as Judgment Day got involved, the match actually kind of picked up. Like it wasn't much of a match at that point. It was more of an angle and a story, but it kept my attention. Like I was more invested in that story part of the match than the initial part of the match where they're wrestling each other, and it wasn't
in
that
the crowd for a lot of it.
Yeah, the wrestling in the crowd and the brawling around. It wasn't that great. It wasn't, my favorite stuff. So by the time Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio, when they all showed up, it did get better. So I didn't hate the Finn Balor Edge match. I didn't like the first 10 minutes of it, maybe 15 minutes of it. Like the first half I didn't like, the second half I did like. So did I like the match? Kind of, half and half. Riddle and Rollins, I didn't really love. Like at first, it started off kind of MMA shoot fight style, and Daniel Cormier was kind of getting involved, but then it just kept going, and it wasn't that it kind of lost its intensity, and then Riddle won.
Yeah.
And, okay.
Not a big fan of the match setup. The second level on top.
They didn't do much with it.
Like once Seth went up there and was just like standing there and Riddle was down below, the match kind of ground to a halt.
Yeah, and DC was like telling them to get down.
And he was doing a count when they were like down, like it was a last man standing match. Like I guess it's supposed to be like a boxing match kind of thing.
Yeah. Daniel Cormier didn't make a huge impact in the WWE tonight.
Yeah.
He was a referee. He kind of grabbed one guy and said, hey, Riddle kind of elbowed him by accident, and DC grabbed him and said, hey, don't touch me. And then Seth kind of pulled DC off of Riddle when Seth wanted to keep attacking Riddle, and DC grabbed Seth at one point and said, hey, you don't touch me, and that was basically it.
Kind of like throw Riddle like headfirst into the cage, kind of like...
Yeah, I think he just kind of was throwing Riddle, and Riddle happened to fly because DC is that type of strong.
Yeah, that was probably the high point of his appearance.
Yeah.
Looked like he was going to get into the mix.
It's just, I'm giving it a 5 because half of this pay-per-view, it's not like any one match was particularly amazing, but every match had some parts that were good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just every match also had some parts that were bad. Although the Karrion Kross Drew McIntyre match, I really don't know if anything was good there. It was kind of, But Finn and Edge, I think, is a perfect example of what this pay-per-view was. Part good, but also part not so good.
Snoozer.
Yeah, so 5 on 10 for me. Jenny D gives it a 5 on 10. She says she's not excited about Bray being back. Me neither. Let's start with Bray Wyatt. He's back. You saw the lantern. You saw masks. You saw the Firefly Funhouse. You saw the Ramblin' Rabbit. You saw Huskus the Pig. You saw all the same Bray Wyatt, Firefly, pseudo-creepy imagery that was going on the last time that he was around. It's more of the same, slightly altered, and I wasn't a big fan of it the first time. I know that some people like it. I don't know what to tell you. Some people like horror movies. I don't. So You know, maybe if you're into horror movies and that type of character and that genre of entertainment, Bray Wyatt is more for you. I'm not sure who they're trying to attract here with Bray Wyatt, but it's not me. I don't really like it. I thought the White Rabbit stuff was kind of cool. It's kind of different. It was subtle. But as soon as all that ended and they finally get to the Bray Wyatt bit at the end of the show, the subtlety is gone. It's just like, oh, here's Bray Wyatt. He's creepy. Here's that We're All Friends da-da-da song, but it's slowed down and creepy. Ooh. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem that creepy to me.
I mean, as someone who speaks, I'm a fan of horror films. I've been to many horror films. I've gone on trips, for a Halloween.
Yeah,
things.
You were just at that Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, right?
I had a wonderful time. But Bray Wyatt, to like horror movies, to like prestige horror movies, he's more like, there's like a studio called Asylum. They make like direct to DVD horror movies that have like similar titles to popular movies, but they're like low budget. They were filmed in a forest outside Vancouver. The actors, like, maybe one actor that you recognize,
it's
like
cheesy.
Matthew Modine's in it, for 2 days work. And it's just as bad, like the blood is like CG simulated, like that. Okay. That's Bray Wyatt.
It's bad.
It's not good. He's
B-level.
Yeah, but they're treating it like he's, Michael Myers, or like, it's like some kind of prestige horror film.
Yeah.
That like, it's like, oh, like all the stuff with the Firefly Funhouse, it's like they think we've been paying attention. And it's like we've been like doing homework on it. Like, oh, we remember all the characters and all the puppets, and it means something when it's just a bunch of rambling, boring, not well thought of, half-baked nonsense.
Yeah.
And even the mask he was wearing, speaking of horror films and doing ripoffs, there was the movie that came out this summer called The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke.
Okay.
It was a good film. And Bray Wyatt's mask is just a total ripoff of that. That like white mask with like the horns. It's like a bit of a drama mask. It's just ripping off the character of the Grabber from The Black Phone, who is a sick pedophile kidnapper. It's not a...
Oh, yuck.
Like there's just a human who kidnaps children.
That's not cool.
That's what Bray Wyatt's kind of emulating. And not saying
What?
that's a personal commentary on his character or anything, but it's just like he just saw this movie that was kind of popular over the summer and goes, well, I'm going to do that. I'll just take the mask and then people will think that's me.
I'm trying to get a picture.
And he is no Ethan Hawke.
I want to get a picture of the Bray Wyatt mask and do a
little comparison.
Comparison, maybe. Because you are correct.
They are some...
Oh, other people are making that... Wow, yeah. So here's a picture. Somebody already... Other people are seeing it that have seen this movie. So here's the Bray Wyatt mask. Here he is, and here's the Black Phone guy. All right.
The Black Phone was one of the houses at Halloween Horror Nights, so I got like a first-hand, up-close a look at like what this mask looks like, and it's like that. It's eerie.
So again, Bray Wyatt mask. Whoops. There it is. And that Black Phone mask. It is similar. It is similar.
Just like those Asylum movies, like Bray Wyatt's movies called, The Black, Receiver.
Yeah, it's like a cheap ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lame. It's not something that I like. I don't know. It's like you're saying, there's a lot of rambling, there's a lot of nonsense talk, and it really doesn't add up to anything. If it did mean something, if it did add up to something, if there was some substance behind it, I might be able to appreciate it, but there's nothing there. It's flimsy, it's cheesy, it's campy, and I'm not interested in this Bray Wyatt character, and quite frankly, watching him wrestle doesn't make up for it. So, Triple H is bringing back all these people, and he hasn't brought back a single person that has made me want to watch the show more. Not a single one.
Mm-mm.
Like, he's bringing back everybody Vince fired, and everybody was all mad Vince fired them, and I'm starting to think, God damn, that Vince was a genius, pal. You know, I mean, he fired a bunch of people that can't get over in AEW either. They're punching people in AEW trying to get back to WWE. I don't think that's going to work for them. And Triple H, who's he bringing back? Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Johnny Gargano, Karrion Kross. Like,
the worst.
I don't know if these guys are improving your show. I really don't. Bray Wyatt got a big pop because it was a cool entrance. And, you know, for the live crowd, it looked impressive, and they liked it. But give it time. We'll see how it goes. I am not a big fan of this Bray Wyatt character. Never have been. Patrick C. Hamilton says, still can't convince me to watch WWE. We'll watch AEW once in a while. I mean, I like the WWE. You know, there are some good things. There are some not so good things. I guess this guy, Programmer Hub, is a Bray Wyatt fan. These two guys are just frustrated with their life. Yeah. No, I'm good, Programmer Hub.
Yeah,
I just don't really like Bray Wyatt, you know?
Yeah.
This is the thing, man. Like, if you don't like the wrestling that other people like, they get mad and they, like, attack you personally or whatever.
I always found that weird.
It's odd. Programmer Hub.
You know, it's okay to like a wrestler. It's okay to dislike a wrestler.
Well, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people do like Bray Wyatt, and that's fine. But I'm not here to tell you that I do, because I don't really.
It's not the truth.
Oh, this guy's mad.
All right.
His latest comment has been held for review because it's
inflammatory.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. But see, the Bray Wyatt fans, they get mad. You don't like Bray Wyatt, and they're like, whoa, what's wrong with you?
Must be our own moral failings.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, well,
it's boring.
I don't know. I just think that it kind of shows
I didn't miss him.
The level of the Bray Wyatt fan, you know? Like, you don't like Bray Wyatt, I hate you. It's like, well, all right. What is this?
What?
Not a Bray Wyatt fan, but still, you both looks frustrated with your family and life.
I love you, brother.
Yeah, I think we're good. We're brothers. We're pretty.
Yeah.
We're pretty cool.
Hanging out.
Yeah. You all right?
Yeah. Man.
Maybe Programmer Hub is the one.
What's
that's
going on, man? You know, we like you. You know,
yeah,
we got no reason to dislike you too much.
I don't think I do. Not this
Well,
Programmer Hub.
Before.
Yeah, he's all right, but
thanks for
he's
watching.
a good man.
You know,
or maybe not a man, maybe a woman who's mad
or non-binary.
I don't know what's going on.
But Bray Wyatt, you know,
just
I
weird.
find him boring, and like honestly, I didn't miss him while he was gone. You know, like sometimes there were some bad pay-per-views during his absence, and I was thinking, you know, if Bray was here, it'd be a lot worse. But, like, him not being there kind of improved this because, like, they didn't have to be like, well, we need a segment for Bray. We need a match for Bray. You know, they were able to cut the fat, so to speak. A lot of the dead weight. Like, a lot of times when they would release those guys, like Braun Strowman or Karrion Kross, I was thinking, oh, you know, they're cutting some dead weight. You know, they're realizing these investments they've made maybe aren't really seeing through, and they're cutting their losses.
But there also was a part of me that thought, well, maybe Vince's creative vision is not what it was, you know, and maybe if somebody else like Triple H was in charge and had control of these characters, they'd be different and cooler. But we're seeing these characters come back with Triple H fully in charge, and they're the same. So... And Ray Cruz, member of the team, thank you, Ray, says 3 words, House of Horrors.
Oh, yes. Like, how could you forget?
It's hard to come back from that, you know?
I remember so many beats from that match.
It's hard to come back from a House of Horrors match being so bad.
The room with the doll parts, and Randy just going, like, picking up a doll and, like, looking at it, being like, I played with this as a child. And then he gets in, like, a car, and they drive back to the arena, so they like pause the match and then like keep it going at the arena. What was that, like at a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, I think? For only 1 year?
Something like that. Yeah. He's had a lot of not great moments in WWE.
Bray Wyatt? No. Like, his best moment is hard to think of. You know, what's Bray Wyatt's best match?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just seeing a comment from this guy, Programmer Hub, who seems just super angry, and he seems to not like AEW and likes WWE. Doug Hepper saying nobody would talk to us like that if Big Johnny's around. Big Johnny's actually wrestling a match tonight, so he's not doing the show with us tonight. Yeah. I mean, anyways. I don't know. What are you going to do? Some people, you can't please everybody.
No.
Not everybody's going to be happy with our thoughts on professional wrestling. And I'm not trying to say that AEW is better than WWE, although these days it's slightly more interesting. I'd give it a slight edge.
Mostly due to, like, backstage conflicts.
Yeah. I think UFC is the best promotion going. I mean, UFC 280. UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi, that's going to be massive. That's the pay-per-view that I'm looking forward to the most all month, Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev. Holy goodness.
Chucky Ellis.
Deep down, you both are happy that Wyatt is back. Okay.
All right, man.
If you say so. Programmer Hub is like taking over the show. All right, shut the fuck up, Programmer Hub. I'm sick of you. It's Programmer Hub AJ. Yeah, I mean, it might as well be,
Feels
right?
like it.
Good one, TK. Good one. What the fuck? Oh, shit. All right, what else happened on this? Brawling Brutes match of the night, right?
Yeah,
Brawling Brutes over Imperium.
Talk about something we liked.
Yeah, fantastic match. Fantastic. All those guys did a really good job. I loved when the Brawling Brutes had Walter or Gunther on the apron, when Sheamus does the clubs, and all three of them just kind of swarmed on Gunther and just started pounding the shit out of him, and Pete Dunne was like kicking him in the face.
That was good.
It just had like a level of brutality, and it felt like a gang fight. It felt like a fight, and it was real violence, and it was real chaos, and it's just six guys that don't give a shit, that are just letting it all hang out and are willing to bleed and do whatever and take whatever from whoever and are dishing it out. It's just six badasses, all those guys. Ridge, Pete Dunne, Sheamus, and of course Imperium with Gunther and Kaiser and Giovanni, Giovanni's even, latest addition to the group, just coming on the main roster recently. He's done well, fitting right in. Really good stuff. Really good match. Even though, like, Ridge Holland broke Big E's neck, I can't help but like him at this point. He's a hard worker. Yeah, I'm a big TNA fan. I watched Bound for Glory last night.
Bobby Fish.
No.
But, yeah, no, it was good to hear. Also, it was really good to hear Sheamus get really over with the crowd. It was nice to see because, like, we were in Philly for Money in the Bank 2013, where Sheamus was maybe, like, the MVP of, like, an all-star ladder match, and he got very little love or notice or attention from the crowd.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see after all these years, in Philly, Sheamus getting, like, the most over and really fans cheering for his comebacks and his spots. Like, it's nice to see Sheamus finally appreciated as the hardworking veteran he is.
Sheamus is popular. People are starting to come around on Sheamus and really get into him.
It's too bad it's like probably near the end of his career, maybe. Like that's more like the back nine.
Yeah, he's probably got more career behind him than he has ahead of him. But you see the look of him, And the way he wrestles is just, man, there's no sign of slowing down with Sheamus. He's as good now, if not better, than he's ever been in his entire career.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Sky's the limit with Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes. I think they're a solid group. Of course, Gunther and Imperium, too. Really good group. Really good group.
Fun to watch.
Yeah. I love Gunther as the Intercontinental Champion. I think he's fantastic. So that was my match of the night. What was your match of the night? If it wasn't the Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes, let me know. Let me know in the chat. But Ray Cruz says opening match was great, but then it just went downhill. I agree. I think the opening match was the best thing we saw, and yeah, it was a bumpy ride the rest of the way. Ronda Rousey beating Liv Morgan by technical submission. That match had some good moments, had some bad moments, had Liv Morgan hitting Ronda with some of the worst chair shots I've ever seen. I mean, just kind of tapping her with the steel chair. I don't know what was going on there. Ronda had to sell it because she's getting hit with a chair, but Liv did her senton off the top rope through a table with Ronda on the table there. And went crashing through. That was a nice false finish. 1-2. Ronda kicked out of it.
Also, that like Liv like the table was like kind of half broken, and like Liv slammed Ronda onto like that like broken kind of table, and Ronda looked like she took that pretty hard.
Yeah.
And like they were like shoulders are down on this like table at an angle, like clearly.
Yeah. But that's it. Like there were some moments in that match.
That was
where
near
it's
the
like,
end, I think.
It's like, oh shit, that was pretty crazy, you know. Like, but the finish was, I kind of liked that match until the end when Ronda puts Liv in that submission move and Liv goes to sleep. But as she's going to sleep, she's smiling. And then she wakes up, she sees Ronda with the title, and she's still smiling for some reason. I don't know if she was supposed to be smiling or what happened. And the finish was unclear, you know, what Ronda actually had Liv in, because the announcers were calling an arm bar and then a bicep slicer or an arm crusher. I'm not sure what they were calling it, but either way, it's like a bicep slicer. And then I guess Ronda turned it into a choke and Liv passed out, unless they're saying Liv passed out due to the pain, which, like, they had Mustafa Ali this week tap out to Bobby Lashley in a full Nelson. Like he went to sleep because of the pain in a full Nelson, which is ridiculous. Like, put me in a full Nelson. You can't. First of all, if you're putting a guy in a full Nelson and he can't escape, that guy shouldn't be a professional wrestler, you know? And second of all, you can't pass out in a full Nelson, just like you can't pass out if your bicep is getting crushed. Put me in an arm bar. I'm not going to pass out. My arm might break. I'm not going to pass out, though.
Your neck might get cranked in a nasty full Nelson, you know, if the guy's putting a lot of pressure on the back of your neck.
Yeah,
you know,
but
like
you're not going to...
Bobby Lashley muscles.
Yeah, your neck's going to
mean...
hurt. Your neck's going to hurt. You're not going to pass out. So Ronda made Liv pass out with maybe an arm bar. I don't even know what the hell was going on there. It was a weird finish, and then Liv was smiling.
Yeah.
She lost her belt, and she was smiling about it. I don't know why.
And, like, at first we kind of thought, like, hey, is Liv trying to, like, bury Ronda, doing some kind of, like, no-sell thing? But then Corey Graves, like, right there, is like, why is Liv smiling? I don't understand.
Yeah, I guess.
So they acknowledge it's part of the storyline. Or, yeah?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't get why Liv was smiling. Was she smiling because she's like, okay, Ronda, you get your win? You know, I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know what that was. It was very strange the way she did that. And yes, a submission move. That's fine. Like, if you want to treat an abdominal stretch or even a full Nelson as a submission move, you know, you can hurt you. It hurts, but you're not going to pass out. You know, to make somebody pass out, you have to choke them. You know, there's a variety of chokeholds you can apply. I'm a blue belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, guys, all right? So I know a couple of things.
Some validity.
I know a couple of things, and there's a lot of things that I don't know. So that's why I keep going to the gym so I could learn those things because, you know, some guys beat me up pretty good. But other guys don't. And fewer guys are beating me up these days. So let's go. Let's go, okay? Right? I know about submission moves, and full Nelson is not going to make you pass out. Like, some people might not know that I know about submission moves. They'd be like, who's this guy? What's he know? You're talking about it. I do submission grappling. I know about it. You know, you can't make a guy pass out in a full Nelson. He might tap out if you really get him stuck and he doesn't know what he's doing, but you would have to get the shittiest of shitty white belts to tap out to a full Nelson. Like, I don't know. Unless you're like, 300 pounds full of muscle and you're fighting a guy that's 120 pounds and you really can't escape because you're jacked to the gills.
And you're pushing his head so
Sure.
down that like his chin is like choking.
I mean, look,
but that's like so specific
if
circumstance.
Brock Lesnar puts me in a full Nelson and really has it wrapped, like, I might tap out because he might pop my head off. You know what I mean? But I don't know if I'd pass out. I'd probably tap before passing, you know? But passing out, like they're trying to do in WWE sometimes, like, it's just not realistic, you know?
It's just a way of making it seem like the guy is still strong, like, they're not tapping. Tapping is weak.
Yeah.
So, they're passing out. But, like, when Stone Cold Steve Austin passed out from the sharpshooter, it's because he lost a ton of blood.
Yeah.
It wasn't because, it was just the pain was too much. It was because he was drenched in blood.
It was blood loss and exhaustion, perhaps. But, yeah, it wasn't tapping out or passing out from pain. Anyhow, I don't know if that's what Liv did tonight. She lost. Yeah. She smiled. Ronda's the new SmackDown Women's Champion. They aired a Charlotte Flair promo package tonight. Maybe Charlotte Flair's next for Ronda. Maybe Ronda faces Liv again at Crown Jewel. It's very possible because, I mean, let's not forget here, Crown Jewel is just about a month away. They've got a few weeks of TV before that, so some of the matches we saw tonight we're going to see similar versions of at Crown Jewel. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Ronda Rousey at that show because she is a big star and WWE likes to bring out their big guns. So don't be surprised to see a Ronda Rousey Liv Morgan rematch at Crown Jewel. Maybe a submission match. We'll see. Karrion Kross beat Drew McIntyre. The
best thing about this match, it was the shortest match of the card.
Yes. It happened. Scarlett shot pepper spray in Drew's eyes. Drew was setting up for the Claymore kick to win the match, but Scarlett, Karrion's manager / wife, I think, girlfriend, sprayed Drew in the eyes with pepper spray, and then Kross pinned Drew after he was blinded to get the win.
I got a problem with that.
Okay.
That she had like a big can. And I think pepper spray traditionally comes in these like tiny little, like almost like a lighter, like a bit bigger than a lighter kind of thing. Bear spray, like a much more concentrated thing, is like in those big, big cans, And like, it was, what it looked like? It looked like she was like doing like a Rick Martel thing with like hairspray. That's what I thought it was at first. It was like a Rick Martel thing. But, and like pepper spray, when you're spraying in someone's close distance, Scarlett should have been like feeling it too. Like she should have been like reacting from it too, because it's in the air. It gets in the user, like the person spraying can also get like affected by it.
Yes.
So there's like it was just like like it looks so fake. Like they made the can big so it looked good on TV.
Yes.
And the fireball thing obviously didn't work, so they aren't doing that again.
Yeah.
So they're just doing this big can of pepper spray, and it's like it's inaccurate, and Scarlett's not reacting to it. So just
If you spray pepper spray right at Drew's eyes, Scarlett is probably going to get reaction.
I'm spraying you here. It's getting me too.
I just watched an episode of The Office when Dwight pepper sprays Roy because Roy is coming after Jim. Dwight pepper sprays Roy, and then he's doing the interview, and his eyes are watering. He did the pepper spraying, but he's also affected by the pepper spray. Not as much as Roy, but
No, but that's an excellent point.
Yes.
It hits you, and then like other people in the like Pam is also kind of like blinded by it too, because it's in the air. Scarlett should have been scratching her eyes and asking for milk to be poured in it.
Yeah, but she didn't because it wasn't real pepper spray, of course, thankfully. But Drew did sell it like it was, and then Karrion Kross got the win over him. I like this guy. We're seeing a couple new names in the chat tonight. One guy, Dark Chason, says, "Name me one classic Bray Wyatt match. Can't be shit, won't move any needle." And I'm liking that. I'm liking this guy, Dark Chason. And this other guy, Programmer Hub, seems to be a big Bray Wyatt fan. And he's called Bryan Danielson Jobber Danielson. I'm starting to think this guy, Programmer Hub, might be Johnny North just trying to troll me. I don't know.
Sounds like
you know, pro Bray Wyatt, anti Bryan Danielson. That's just the wrong opinion to have for professional wrestling. Like, a lot of wrestling is subjective, but if you think Bray Wyatt is better than Bryan Danielson, you are incorrect. It's just wrong. It's like telling me, I think Bray Wyatt's better than Bret Hart. Well, that's fucking stupid. That's wrong. You could believe it, but you would be incorrect, and most people that understand professional wrestling would laugh at you and tell you are wrong.
Yeah, like if you want to say Bray Wyatt's better than Roman Reigns, I'd be like, okay, make your case.
Yeah. If you want to say Bray Wyatt is better than Roman Reigns, I'll be like, okay, maybe if you think you like kind of goofy guys in the beard and stuff better than, chiseled tribal chief type guys, that's fine. But if you're going to tell me you think Bray Wyatt is better than Bryan Danielson, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Promo, look, wrestling, Bryan is better than him in everything by a million. It's ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous statement to make. And yes, Programmer Hub, you have pissed me off because nobody disrespects a good name of Bryan Danielson on this show. You fucking guy. Bryan Danielson is the best. He is the best. On this show, Bryan Danielson is the king of professional wrestling, second to Bret Hart, but Bret Hart doesn't wrestle anymore. So Bryan Danielson is number one in my heart forever. That guy is
in this
the
house.
Best.
Bryan Danielson is a hero. End of subject.
End of subject. Unbelievable. Yeah. I'm starting to think that is Johnny. So shout out to Dark Chason. You get it. You get it. And Programmer Hub does not get it. End of subject. Oh, God.
Oh, man. Dude, that's what people should be ripping off for wrestling.
Yeah. I can't let that slide, a comment like that. Bryan Danielson's not as good as Bray Wyatt. What?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's crazy talk. That's ridiculous. Do you understand? Maybe he doesn't understand wrestling and what it is.
Okay.
Okay. You think Danielson is best? When was last time he main event?
The Iron Sheik?
I think it is Sheiky, baby. What?
Fuck you!
Yeah. Yeah, because how a guy is booked is really when's the last time Bray Wyatt main evented anything? I mean, if we're going by that standard, he hasn't wrestled in a while. He got fired, right? Somebody fired him. When's the last time Bryan Danielson got fired, because he was deemed not worth having on a roster, That doesn't really happen because he's one of the greatest wrestlers ever, and Bray Wyatt is, the son of IRS.
The brother of Bo Dallas, who I always thought was better.
Job. He's the son of IRS. Bayley lost again. Yes, Angelo Bautista. Shout out to you watching us on Facebook. She did lose again to Bianca Belair, which we kind of expected. We kind of expected Bayley. Harold Schneider dropping a super chat. He says he's loving the debate. Thank you. Dark Chasson says there's literally not one single classic Bray match. That is correct. That is 100% correct.
Yeah. Like I was trying to think of one.
No.
Where it was like, oh, that was okay or something, but like, no, they're all pretty bad.
Yeah.
His Hell in a Cell with Roman was bad. The one with the Dean Ambrose, where Dean Ambrose had the TV that exploded in his face, and that was the finish of the match. The Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell match where the chair shot equaled the DQ.
Every Bryan Danielson match that has happened this year is better than the best Bray Wyatt match that Bray Wyatt has ever had in his career.
You know what?
Every Bryan Danielson match that Bryan Danielson has ever had is better. Like, Bryan Danielson's worst match is better than Bray Wyatt's best match.
You know what Bray Wyatt's best match is? It's the one on Raw where they had like a cage match when Bryan was temporarily with the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
And then Bryan like fought back and wasn't. The crowd was like on his side and he's on the cage going yes.
Yeah.
But that's because of Bryan. That's why it's Bray's best match.
Bray's best match is when he was in a team with Bryan, and Bryan did most of the wrestling for him.
And then kneed him in the face.
And Bray stood on the apron and watched a real wrestler do the work. Shit.
Remember when Bryan joined the Wyatt family and they wanted to really make that serious for like a couple weeks? They were like, no, Bryan's a heel now. He's all like, he was talking in the weird spaciness. He was in the backstage dark promos. And they're like, no, you don't want to cheer for this guy. You want Batista in the main event.
Yeah.
You want Bryan just pushed away, whatever. And then like after a couple weeks, like, no, we can't do it.
Yeah. They tried to make you hate Daniel Bryan at the time by putting him with that jobber group, the Wyatt family, and the fans were like, no, we still love Daniel Bryan. We know that's Daniel Bryan in that stupid getup, and we want him to come out of this Wyatt family thing so he can take back the Yes Movement and main event WrestleMania. And he did. Yeah. Yes, Bryan is overrated. That's a solid opinion there. Dark Chasson says Liv and Bray are cosplayers. Yes.
Yeah.
Liv cosplays as
Harley Quinn.
I think she cosplays as Alexa Bliss, who cosplayed as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I think that's really what's going on. Liv is like trying to be the new Alexa Bliss, I guess, even though Alexa Bliss is still around. These two guys are pissed off. My day is made. Yes, we're really upset.
Yes, I am
We're so
furious.
Angry. I mean, you're adding content to the show, and you're helping with the jokes and keeping it going. So
kind of appreciate you, Programmer Hub.
I do appreciate you, Programmer Hub. Your silly opinions have brightened my day as well.
It's like talking with AJ.
Yeah, it is like talking with AJ about wrestling.
Defiantly?
Definite.
Misspelling.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, thank you, Dark Chasson. He says they aren't mad, they're educated fans. Yeah. We're laughing all the way through this. I mean, if I was mad, I think you'd know it. It'd be more, it'd be clear. I'm not mad. I could block you, too. You know, Programmer Hub, like I could block you from the chat easily, but I haven't because I find you amusing. It's funny. It's good stuff.
It's content.
What's the score in the ball game? Mets won.
Phillies
won.
Yes.
Cardinals are eliminated.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Fuck the St. Louis Cardinals. Fuck them to hell.
All right,
Fuck you, Pujols. Enjoy your retirement.
Take it easy. Cardinals
you loser.
Cardinals are eliminated. Jays got eliminated. Rays got eliminated. Wow.
It's a nice day for baseball.
Wow. I don't know. Cowards. I don't know. Are you calling us cowards?
Do I hate the St. Louis Cardinals?
I don't know. I guess so. Maybe he's a big Cardinals fan, too.
Oh.
All right. So, Bianca Belair.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I'm a big coward. I'm scared of everybody. Sure. Bayley took a hinge out from her knee brace at one point during this match, and I really thought she was going to hit Bianca with it. Like, she pulled out a piece of metal, and I was like, oh, she's going to hit Bianca with it. And then she starts charging at Bianca, but she throws the piece of metal away before she hits Bianca, and then she runs at her, I guess with an exposed knee brace of some sort. It wasn't clear what the hell was going on, but it didn't even work because she missed Bianca, and then Bianca hit her with the KOD, and then she went to climb to the top of the ladder, but Io Sky and Dakota Kai came out to stop her. But that whole thing with the knee brace and the piece of metal, like, that didn't work.
No.
You know? Like, there was good parts in the match. When Bianca was at the top of the ladder and Io and Dakota bumped her off, like, Bianca took a nice bump off the top of the ladder, hitting the ropes. Bayley, too, at one point was on a ladder, and she flew off, and she hit the ropes really hard. Like, they worked hard, and, oh, well, thanks. That's pretty cool.
That's a compliment.
I wish. That guy's rich, man. I think Meltzer's Meltzer's paid. He lives in California too. I live in
Sunshine.
Montreal. He lives in the nice like northern, like San Jose area, which is pretty nice. You know, I live in Canada. It's all right, but it's not California. California sounds pretty good to me. Although Canada's nice and safe. So, but that's a compliment as far. I think he meant it as an insult that I'm like the new Dave Meltzer, but honestly, that'd be pretty good. Dave Meltzer's like very.
You have the Young Bucks calling you?
Dave Meltzer's very famous in wrestling. Like everybody knows who Dave Meltzer is. So if I'm the new Dave Meltzer, and you're modern Shelton Benjamin,
ain't no stopping me. No.
I mean, he wishes he was the athlete that Shelton Benjamin is. I
wish I could do that like ladder hop he did. You know?
Oh man,
God, Shelton Benjamin. I wish I would have University of Minnesota Golden Gopher.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, he's not
a Golden Gopher.
I have wrestled him.
Yeah.
He is not the wrestler that Shelton Benjamin is.
Close.
If he was, he'd beat me, and I don't think so. Okay.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
All right,
okay,
well,
good.
There you go.
It was hard to tell, you know, because
I thought he hated
very
us,
snarky.
but now
no.
he likes us. I think we've turned him around.
That's right. That's what we do.
Because we're undeniable, baby. You can't help but love us.
That's what happens when irresistible force meets an immovable object.
Too rational to be Meltzer. Well, we all love Uncle Dave Meltzer. He gives us the news and the insider stuff.
His 6-star ratings.
He gives the ratings and the stuff. I don't dislike Dave Meltzer. I think he's fine. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's there.
He's pretty jacked, I think, right? Isn't he very muscular?
He wears like those sweaters, but like under it you could see there's like.
I like that guy,
business.
Brian Alvarez. That guy's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so respect. That's a real grappler right there. Shout out to him. So the Bianca Bayley match ended when Bianca picked up Bayley. Bayley had like a piece of ladder. Like the finish of this match too, I didn't love because Bayley had this half ladder that she was holding, and Bianca picked her up. Bayley remained in firm grip of this piece of ladder, and Bianca does the KOD, and Bayley, because she's holding on to this ladder piece, falls, flips, and lands face first on the ladder that she was holding for the KOD. You would think if you're up in the air, A, try to like hit Bianca with the ladder, or B, as you're falling, throw the ladder away so you don't land on it. But she did land on it, and then Bianca climbed to the top of the ladder, grabs the belt, and wins the match. It was just weird. Like, Bayley has a weapon, and you think she's going to use it, but then Bianca has her up and hits her finish, and Bayley's own weapon winds up costing her the match. It was a weird...
Didn't even try to make a motion like she was gonna. The announcers didn't say anything like, oh, watch out for Bayley. Like, it reminded me of, like, when Triple H, you know, would get picked up in, like, a powerbomb or something, but he's got the sledgehammer. And then he would hit the guy with the sledgehammer and then, like, help win.
And he would escape, pedigree, and he would win.
I thought that's where we were going.
I thought Bayley would use the piece of ladder. She didn't, and she held on to it, so it hurt her in the end, which was weird. And it's not like Bayley had been rendered unconscious before Bianca picked her. Like, Bayley was still kind of conscious walking around. She had the thing in her hands. Bianca picks her up, and Bayley's just motionless. And then hit with the finish, and then it's over, and Bianca wins. Like, the match had some cool moments, had some cool spots, also had some awkward spots. The KOD that Bianca did on Dakota and Io that took them completely out of the equation, and they had to sell that for like a good 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, it was bad. I thought they were going to come back into the match.
It was just, you know, it took a long time for Bianca to get them both on her shoulders, and when she did, the drop wasn't great. You know.
And, like...
clunky.
Like you've been saying, like, you know, in the recaps of Raw and SmackDown, this match, and like also we'll get to in the Judgment Day match, it's just nothing really starts until the goons show up. It's only when there's interference, it's like, okay, we're kind of like moving forward. Everything else is just bludgeoning in a couple spots, but you know we're not at the end because the goons haven't showed up yet, and we need the goons. Send out the goons.
It's always the goon squad that, you know, You got to send out the goods because, yeah, Bianca and Bayley, they're going to wrestle for a while, but until Io and Dakota show up, we're not going to see a finish. And it was the same here in the next match with Edge and Finn Balor. Edge and Finn wrestled for a while. They did their thing. They fought through the arena. And then Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio show up, and they start attacking Edge, and that's when the match really got started. Edge speared all of them through the ropes to the floor, which was pretty cool when he speared all three of those guys. But Judgment Day eventually took over. They handcuffed Edge to the ropes. Finn was smashing him with a kendo stick. Rey Mysterio came out, tried to make the save, but Dominic, his own son, attacked him. And, Dominic beating down Rey. Edge was by himself getting beat up. Beth Phoenix, Edge's wife, shows up, hits Finn and Damian Priest with a kendo stick, breaks the kendo stick over Damian and Finn, which was pretty cool. Broke that thing all on them, and then threw the nub at Dominic. Rhea Ripley showed up to have a face-off with Beth Phoenix. Beth hit a spear on Rhea, though, and got the handcuff key to free Edge. And then it was Dominic and Edge in the ring together. Dominic wanted to be friends. Edge kicked him right in his balls. And then Edge hit a spear on Finn a few times, set him up for the crossface with a piece of chair. But Rhea Ripley hit Beth Phoenix with brass knuckles, dropped Beth Phoenix, and then Damian Priest took advantage, chokeslammed Edge. Finn hit 3 coup de graces on Edge, and the whole Judgment Day had Edge beat down, and Rhea Ripley set up Beth Phoenix for the concerto. So this was an I Quit match. Through this match, they kept asking Edge if he quit, which really slows this thing down. I don't really like I Quit matches like this, where every couple of minutes, punch him, ask him if he quits, body slam him, ask him if he quits, and it's like, screw you, Finn. There's a lot of that going on.
Just once. It'd be like a little body slam, and Edge's like, you know what, actually? Yeah, I quit.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
I'm done. I'm going home. I'm going back to Toronto.
I'm a multi-millionaire. I could be home right now. I don't need to be wrestling Finn Balor.
I got to make money playing 2.
You should say that. But he didn't say that. Of course, they set up Beth Phoenix for the concerto, and Dominic and Finn and Damian are holding Edge, and Rhea's going to hit Edge's wife in the head with a chair. So Edge says he quits so that they leave her alone. But, of course, they still hit her with a concerto, and Edge is left holding Beth as the Judgment Day leave. Finn Balor beats Edge in the I Quit match. It was like an angle, it was like a segment more than a match. They kind of had a match brawl thing for a while, and then everybody, when Damian Priest and Dominic showed up, and then Rey and Beth and all that stuff was happening, it was, it slowed down, but it got a little bit more interesting. Not a terrible match, but not really a great wrestling match, It was drama. It was a play with some action. A lot of talking, a lot of emoting, a lot of acting. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah. Dark Chasson says the Edge run has been a mess. I agree.
Yeah.
It's not been great.
He's been injured a bit. I mean, he's had a couple of matches here and there that were pretty solid, but most of it has been pretty weak. I feel like one of his Randy matches was okay. He had like 3 matches with Randy.
Yeah, I think he had one that was good. The best match ever.
Was that a good match?
The match that they called the greatest match of all time.
Yeah. Greatest wrestling match. Yeah.
Yeah. Before they had it, and they were like, "This is going to be the greatest match of all time," and then they had it, and it was pretty good.
Like a Hell in a Cell.
Not the greatest match of all time, but it was pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
Some specialty match Edge had. I was like, oh, that was pretty good. But yeah, it's been a bit lackluster.
According to you guys, whole WWE is trash. No, we like the opening match was really good.
Yeah.
We like Sheamus a lot.
And there's a lot of wrestlers who weren't on the
Gunther.
card that we're fans of.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is good. Tribal Chief is pretty cool. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat. He says, "Thanks, Dave Bros. Happy Thanksgiving all." Thank you, Doug. Shout out to Doug and Nick out in Kingston, Ontario. Doug supporting the Ringside Report Network as he does. Patrick C. Hamilton is our super chat leader of the night. Thank you, Patrick. The Miz was doing stuff with the Philadelphia Flyers mascot all night. Eventually, he attacked the mascot, and Dexter Lumis showed up and choked out the Miz. Miz and Dexter Lumis still doing their thing. That's not my favorite thing in WWE. Charlotte Flair video package was one of the highlights of this pay-per-view because it was a cool video package for one of the best wrestlers in the world, Charlotte Flair, the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
A lot of video packages tonight. There was a Roman video package. There was an Edge video package that we thought was leading into his match, but it didn't.
Yeah, it was just a video package.
Then a Charlotte video package. I'm sure I'm missing one. There was a Bianca video package, I think, too. Or was that part of the pre-show? I forget now. I think it was part of the main show.
Yeah.
Showing her like athletic prowess and stuff. I liked when she was like, I knew I was born to be a champion. I always wanted to be a champion. And the first shot is like a runner-up trophy.
For Bianca's video, yeah.
It's just like, I wanted to be number one.
Yeah.
Here I am coming runner-up.
The Charlotte Flair video package was cool because it reminds you that Charlotte Flair is a thing and she will probably be back at some point, which is good news because she's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
She is great. You want to talk about things I like about the WWE? Charlotte Flair.
Yeah. I've missed her from television.
Hell yeah. God, the queen. Can't wait to see Charlotte Flair back. The greatest women's wrestler of all time. Does she come back and feud with Ronda? Like, is that what we want now? Are we going right back into Charlotte Ronda? I think Ronda and Liv have one more match. Another Ronda decisive finish in just a regular match, beating Liv at Crown Jewel. And then maybe Charlotte returns after that.
Perhaps. Do you think she changes brands? If it takes on Bianca?
Who, Charlotte?
Bianca Charlotte could be a good program.
It would make sense, Bianca Charlotte, because it's fresher than Ronda Charlotte, because Ronda Charlotte was the WrestleMania match, right? Do we go back right there? I don't know. Yeah. It wouldn't be a bad move to move Charlotte over to Raw. I know there has been talk about a draft. I think they're going to do that at some point in the near future. Maybe after Crown Jewel, maybe before. Probably not before. They only have a month. They haven't announced anything, but I could see a draft in November, maybe December. See Charlotte move over to Raw. I mean, it's possible. It's
New
possible.
GMs?
I don't think you do GMs anymore. I think that whole concept is played out. They've done it for so long, and it just kind of got stale. I don't know if Adam Pearce is still in charge of anything. But a new director of authority for both shows might be a good idea, too. I don't know.
I don't know who they could find. Like, who's, like, fresh enough that, like, you know, they could take a bump or two, you know, if they needed. But also, like, familiar enough with the audience is familiar enough with them. It's probably going to be like Wade Barrett or something.
Oh, God.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. You're in a handicap match tonight.
He's doing
commentary.
Commentary on
Raw.
Raw.
He could always become an authority figure if they needed him to. I'm William Regal now.
Draft for Survivor Series, Ray Cruz says. That could be a possibility. Johnny North jumping on. Johnny was wrestling tonight, so he's not able to join us here. But he is on the chat watching the show. He says, Hunter is an idiot, not my fault. Doug Hepburn said, Johnny North, everyone was disappointed you weren't the White Rabbit. And then Johnny North says, Hunter is an idiot, not my fault, Doug. Good one, John. Yeah, I mean, if Triple H was really smart, he would have signed Johnny North a long time ago. Johnny North is a great professional wrestler and was no doubt putting on another great show tonight, as he does every time, as he will on October 30th in Laval for Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling when he takes on Drew Onyx.
Takes him down.
Get ready, Drew Onyx. Johnny North is coming for you. October 30th in Laval for Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling. Yes. Yes, indeed. And Matt Riddle beats Seth Rollins in the main event. Daniel Cormier got involved a little bit. Riddle accidentally elbowed DC. DC grabbed Riddle, kind of threw him into the cage, told him, hey, don't touch me. DC wound up grabbing Seth at one point too when Seth kind of pulled DC away from Riddle. DC told Seth, hey, don't touch me. And that was pretty much it. Eventually, Riddle got a triangle choke submission on Seth Rollins. Not a bad match. Not the best match. But I think WWE realized, like, this is not an amazing main event. We need something else to close the show. And what they had was the White Rabbit reveal as Bray Wyatt. That's what they had. And that's why we scored this show a 5 on 10, and that's why you scored it a 4 on 10.
But, you know, I think it's, if anything, this match was a testament to Seth Rollins. Because Seth Rollins is a guy that can go out there and lose a lot of big matches, but still kind of keep his credibility, keep himself over. You know, you never feel like he's taking a back seat. But, like, he never lets it, like, the audience think that either. Like, he always seems confident and keeps going. And I think that's something you really need on the roster. You know, a guy that's like a main event guy, but can take a clean loss every now and then, and like it never gets weak for it. You know, like The Rock was that guy for a while. Took a lot of clean losses, but kind of kept his strength, and you know, and sometimes that could elevate guys. You know, Kevin Owens was elevated from beating Seth Rollins. Riddle could be hopefully elevated from going forward. Maybe not, but
because Seth,
the opportunity is there though.
Seth won the last one at Clash at the Castle. Riddle won the Fight Pit match with the UFC guy in the UFC style match that Riddle used to fight in the UFC. This was the match that Riddle wins. They're going to do a rematch at Crown Jewel. Mark my words, there will 100% be a rematch at Crown Jewel between Seth and Riddle.
For potentially the U.S. Championship.
Yes, and Seth will win. I think Seth might win the U.S. title. Like, he loses tonight, beats Bobby on Monday, wins the U.S. title, defends the U.S. title against Riddle at Crown Jewel, beats Riddle, and then Seth maybe moves on from there.
Oh, no, you looked at my script.
I mean, and then maybe he has a feud with Bobby Lashley over the U.S. title or something, right? But, yeah, I think that Seth and Riddle will wrestle again. It's not like, oh, Seth won and now Riddle won and we're going to move on from here. No, it's not over. They will wrestle again and Seth will win the next one. I don't think Riddle will win the next one. I think the tiebreak match, the trilogy, will be Seth's. And then Seth will move on and do something else. A lot of animosity in the chat tonight.
Flame War.
Yeah. Doug Hepburn says life can be... Yeah, this guy... This guy, Programmer Hub, is like beefing with Dark Chasson and other people in the chat. And he's just like saying, you're frustrated with your life. That's his like big insult. You're frustrated with your life. I think he said that about us, and now he's saying it about Dark Chasson. And then Doug Hepburn is saying, life can be frustrating, Fub. I like that they've abbreviated Programmer Hub to FUB. That's good. He says, life can be frustrating, Fub, like when a pre-roll doesn't burn well and you have to take it apart and re-roll it. Frustrating. That's why you don't buy pre-rolls, Doug, and you only buy the flour and you roll them yourself to begin with. Don't buy pre-rolls, man. Get the flour itself. Roll it yourself. Yeah.
Sometimes you eat the bar. Sometimes the bar eats you.
Dark Chasson says, Fight Pit was odd. Just a cage with a platform, and the platform was out of bounds. Yeah, why was the platform out of bounds?
Oh, it was out of bounds.
Why was DC trying to tell them to get off the platform? I feel like that should be part of it, no?
Also, probably one nice spot in that match was like Seth Rollins did a bit of like a Rob Van Dam style, like, you know, jump off the cage, do like a rotating kind of cross body splash. But RVD, when he pulled that move off at the 2002 Elimination Chamber, he was running towards the cage and kind of jumped up and like did like a splash. You know, it was like, I think they called it like a Spider-Man move at the time. It was a popular film. So like, sure, Seth Rollins was doing an RVD tribute kind of thing, but like, he wasn't, running at the cage and doing like like it was half there. But it was nice to see a little bit of an homage to Robert Van Dam, one of our favorites.
Yeah, Seth was wearing cool RVD style gear, doing the da-da-da during the match.
They weren't in Battle Creek, so
no, I don't know. This guy, Programmer Hub, why are you people so pissed off? Just like you, I am putting my opinions and you are hating me for that. But this guy,
the internet man, internet man.
But you see, these are the people on the internet, right, who are like, why? Now he's like playing the victim. Why are these people not liking me? His first comment ever on our chat was, and I looked back because I was like, I feel like your first comment was negative, and it was. His first comment was, these two guys are just frustrated with their life. That was his comment. That's the first comment that you make in the chat, and that's your starting off point. Fub, you understand, Fub? So when you have that kind of starting off point, you kind of, first impressions are important, and you didn't make a great first impression. We'll give you another chance next time. Subscribe to the channel, my friend. Subscribe to the channel.
Stay with us.
Like the video. I mean, you should really join the YouTube channel. Join.ringsidereport.net. Support the Ringside Report Network. Show that you are not frustrated with your life and that you are willing to give $5 a month to the Ringside Report Network and support this channel and keep us going and continuing to give you this quality entertainment. Because if you don't support the Ringside Report Network, if you are not a member of the channel, if you have not gone to join.ringsidereport.net, you are frustrated with your life. All right? That's my new insult, too. Yes. That's good. Should we put that out? Let's put that out.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted, you're the mod.
Already subbed, but you and your audience is just toxic. Well,
man, toxic.
Thank you for subscribing. I'm toxic. I'm a toxic man. I emit toxic gas and radiation. My audience is toxic. Guys, stop being so toxic, okay?
Yeah.
Although Dark Chasson, who says Hub resorts to personal attacks that he thinks affects his target, but they clearly don't, sir. Yeah, I agree with Dark Chasson, who is a new member of the audience, just like Fub. Fub and Dark Chasson, both new members of the chat. I've not seen either guy before. Very active tonight. But Dark Chasson seems like a nice guy. Fub seems kind of mean and frustrated with life.
I mean, it's a softball, man.
You're frustrated with your life. I'm gonna write a song called "Frustrated with Your Life," and it'll be about Fub.
Frustrated with your wife. That was happening. Fub.
You better get a knife because you're frustrated with your life. To cut an apple and maybe feel better.
Yeah.
Not to do anything violent.
Sounds like maybe a Pearl Jam song.
Oh, he says Ben is cool and I like him, but you are just being toxic.
Oh.
I'm toxic. You're cool, though.
I'm cool.
You're cool.
Oh. The toxicity
of our city. Good one. Dishonor. Don't get me started. Somewhere. Okay. Maybe more subs will get you rid of the frustration. Maybe they will. Or maybe when I jack it on your mama's face.
Oh!
I'm sorry. I don't mean it. I'm joking. I just did it to pop him. I wanted it to laugh. You know. I mean, a lot of things could get rid of the frustrations, right, Fub? You know what I mean. Fubbing it out. Fub one. You gotta fub one out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Sorry. You brought me. Sometimes, you push me to my limits, and I say things that
12:30 at night, get a little blue.
I say things I don't mean. I'm a little mean sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't mean it. I'm sure your mother's a lovely woman, and I would never do such a thing.
No need to be frustrated in life.
Unless she wanted it, and then perhaps.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with two consenting adults.
Although, I know somebody that might have a problem with that.
Oh,
and it's not just Fub. All right. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, poured up. Fuck.
True.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I was joking. Joking. That was
it's all laughs here.
That was a good one, though, right? It was a good one. I looked like a cheap copy of Minoru Suzuki. Like, that is a tremendous...
Yeah, that's like... that's not bad.
you. Thank you. Yes, I aspire to be a cheap copy of Minoru Suzuki. That is my dream. To be a guy that people think, hey, is that Minoru Suzuki? Oh, no, it's just Dave. Man, he really looks like Minoru Suzuki these days. That's cool.
You should walk around, like a towel, like around
Suzuki-gun Ichiban, Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you. This guy, I think he's trying to insult me, but it winds up being a compliment. I'm not really sure what's going on. I said something pretty
Sounds like a good sketch character. The guy who tries to heckle you, but he's actually saying really nice things about you.
Yeah, I said something pretty derogatory that I immediately felt bad about, but also made me laugh a little bit. It was a good chuckle. But he seems to be trying to insult me, yet I'm taking it as a compliment, so I don't know. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. It's been fun.
Yeah, educational.
I don't think anybody's frustrated with their life. I think everybody had a good time.
Fine.
So, so thank you, Dark Chasson. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Support the Ringside Report network. Join.ringsidereport.net, and we will be back here. When will I be back here? Thursday night for Ringside Report MMA. Yes, okay. Ringside Report MMA coming up on Thursday night. We will be previewing some UFC, I hope. Is there UFC again? Yes, Grasso versus Araujo.
Grasso?
Te faccio quello così. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my favorite fighter.
Yeah. Grasso. So Grasso and Araujo fighting for UFC Vegas coming up next Saturday, and we'll preview that. Yeah, good one. We'll preview that Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time with Freddie and AJ for Ringside Report MMA, and then Johnny North will be back with me Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, right after SmackDown for more pro wrestling talk. Of course, next week we're getting ready for that big UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi. Excited about that. But this week, we will be doing the Ringside Report MMA show Thursday night, 8 p.m. And, of course, more pro wrestling talk. If you like this show, check us out every Friday night, 10 p.m., right after SmackDown. We watch AEW Rampage with you. We talk about the SmackDown we just watched. We talk about Raw. We talk about everything going on in the world of professional wrestling. Yes. And Programmer Hub, he says, I will come back again to piss these two off. Okay. Yeah. I could block you at any time, right? You understand that? You're only able to throw these chats out because I'm allowing them to happen, but they could be blocked at any time. So if you really get derogatory, I'll fub all over you. All right?
Watch it, Fub.
Yeah, no soup for you, Fub. I agree.
Come back 1 year.
Come back 1 year. You're banned.
And the subject.
And the subject. All right. Okay. I mean, don't. This guy's like, I know you can, but you won't. He's like almost daring me to do it. I really might, because it's very easy to do, and you're kind of like, it's like too many chats from you at this point. Like I'm seeing you on the screen too often. So I might just get rid of you for that. Not because of the things you say, but because you chat too much. Kind of like AJ, like the spamming of the chat. It's like it's too many messages, and I just don't like seeing the same name over and over again. So if I see that, sometimes I just might block you because it's just too many people.
You talk too much.
Yeah, you never shut up. All right.
I said you talk too much.
We'll be back Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here tonight. Patrick C. Hamilton, you are the Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you to all the members. Doug Hepburn, Patrick C. Hamilton, Ray Cruz. Other members I saw here tonight. Silent by Deadly. And all the other members that joined. Harold Schneider. A lot of members joining us here tonight. Tony Mack. Oh, Mack says, missed the show. I'm at home with a gorgeous Lithuanian girl. Wish me luck. Good luck to you, Tony Mack. I hope everything went well.
Be safe.
Tony Mack, not frustrated with his life. Good job, Tony. Yeah. Yeah, I speak too much. Programmer Hub says it's a talk show, right? He wants us to stop talking. Be a pretty boring show. Just kind of look at us. You just want to look at us.
Make faces.
I mean, we're pretty, but it'd be a little boring. Okay, thanks everybody for joining us. Even the Fubby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you come again to ruin my day. You've ruined my day, Fub. Oh, my day is so ruined by you. Oh, gee, you.
I will wake in the night screaming, Fub! Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you.
Yeah. All right. No, I've had a pretty good day. It's been a pretty good day.
Yeah.
Hung out with my children, and yeah, good day. I watched wrestling with my brother. Had a nice dinner with my family. Yeah, good day. Good day overall. Watch the wrestling pay-per-view. Watch a lot of baseball, you know.
Cardinals lost.
Jays lost. Rays lost. I mean, yeah, pretty good day overall. So
The Mets are doing, but we'll see.
Yeah. Fub will really haunt me on the YouTube channel. I mean, why don't you come to 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu on Tuesday morning and see if you can haunt me there, my friend? How about that? Haunt me there, my friends. Haunt me on the mats. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Ringside Report MMA right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.